Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the More Analytics Afternoon Energy Podcast for January 24th. We are going to start off with the natural gas. Okay, we rolled over into March this morning. Said we're in a bearish correction or trending up against the move up from 250 to 220 with areas of possible exhaustion listed here that you can go through. It came down to just above one of them today. We tried to make an attempt to break below this trend line below, but we did not see a decent penetration below it. If we do see a decent penetration, that's going to warrant a decent pressure. That's going to come in at 340.10 plus 1.3 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. If we take out this formation above here, which is going to come in at 351.40 minus 1.8 per hour starting on 6 o'clock p.m. Sunday, that'll warrant a decent strength. Would like to see a rejection off that line before breaking back above it to give it added credibility. If we do not see any rejection off it, the likelihood of it failing would be greater, and that would also be a short on a decent break back below it if we did break above it first. Okay, crude oil edged lower again today. I warned the trade back below 78.49 should bring in solid pressure, likely for days. We've been coming off for a week now, and we have traded down to 74.01 and also had bearish call below 77.76. Decent trade above this line, creeping down above, is going to come in at 74.81. minus 3 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. That will warrant a decent short covering. If we break above there decently and back down through it decently, look for decent pressure to come in. In the RBOB or unleaded, also edged lower today. I had redrawn this line right here. We came just a couple ticks shy of a decent penetration back above it. As it made it at 8 o'clock and not after 9. Trade below 211.26. I said in the Feb, projected this downward 3 cents minimum, 6 cents plus maximum, and we've traded down to 203.14 from 211.26 in the Feb. And that has also brought in pressure into March. Decent trade above 208.84 minus 8 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Sunday in the March will warrant a decent strength. But if we break above there decently and back down through it decently, look for decent pressure to come in. Heating oil, quiet day today. Monday has a good likelihood of seeing range expansion in this market. We got bullish this morning. We were bearish from the break below 249.29, which brought in 7.34 pressure. Put that on hold. It should be in bold there. And then the trade above 241.05 now warrants a decent strength. That was a break above this line right here. Now we've been chopping sideways here, and this line is dropping steeply. If we were to break back below that line, that will warrant decent pressure. Or if we saw a maintained gap lower. Also, if we trade back above this formation above here, that's going to warrant continued strength. That's going to come in at 251.02 plus 6 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. In the Brent, edged lower today also. Trade below 81.17 has brought in pressure down to 77.60. Decent trade above that line above there, which comes in at 78.28 minus 2.7 per hour. Will warrant a decent strength, but if we fail back down through it decently, that'll warrant decent pressure again. Again, that's a pretty steep formation. And then in the gas oil consolidation day today in here, we had also gotten bullish from the break above a similar line to that in heat. Trade above 720.66. But just as some backup, the trade below 761.25 brought in $47 of pressure. And then we also had bearish calls below 732.25. Those are on hold. Trade above 720.66 now projects this upward $14 plus. That's going to decrease because the line's coming off quickly. But that line's going to come in at 715.62 minus 46 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Decent failure back below there will warn of decent pressure again, or a resumption of the bearishness from these calls. If we were to break back above this line right here, which is going to come in at 741.19 plus 17 per hour, that will warn of decent strength. And the cadence going into Monday is the RBOB is the weakest of the three, the crude oil in the middle, and the heating oil the strongest of the three relative to one another. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you have an awesome weekend, and I will see you on Monday's podcast.